All right, so we are on to the next update with the Lexus. It is Friday, September 16th. It's been a little over a half a month since I hit the deer, and tomorrow I'm going to start to rebuild it. So the plan is to get going tomorrow on Saturday. It's getting a bit dark, so we're not going to start today. Going to work Saturday and Sunday if we need it. Probably just going to make this all one video. But in the meantime, let me show you the Lexus. The Lexus has been sitting like this for about half a month now. Colby's over here. Oh, he flung a rubber band at me or something. Truck's up there, that's what I've been driving, and Colby's here in the 83. So I'm not going to show too much of this right now. I'm going to pull this forward a little bit. I'm going to see if it'll start up since it's been sitting for about 2-3 weeks without being run. And I'll see if it'll start up. If it'll start up, I'll pull it forward, load everything in. We'll head over to Colby's house where I'm spending the night tonight. And then tomorrow early in the AM, we will get cracking. So that'll be fun. We'll try to load everything in, and then everything that doesn't fit in here will go in the truck. Let's see if it'll start up. I forgot to put the wipers underneath of it. There we go. There she is. Let's see if she will start up tonight. Right, let's see if she'll start up. Not too bad. It's idling a bit rough, but started right up. Alright, so we got the hood in the back of Colby's truck. If you come around front into the Lexus, you will see that I have everything packed pretty tightly in here. I'll go over everything that I got tomorrow, and then everything's in the trunk that didn't fit up front, along with all my tools so I can work on it. So that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to drive this over to his place and park it there and hang out for the night, and then tomorrow we will get cracking on it and I will start recording again then. So see you on Saturday. Alright, it's now Saturday. It's time to get cracking on the Lexus. I have it parked here at Colby's house with Colby, of course. The 83 is sitting back there. I'm going to park where the 83 normally is. We're going to work outside today since all work should be from over the top. So Motley's just walking around chilling down there. I got the Lexus parked here. I'm going to pull it up here. Battery kind of went flat last night, so I'm going to see if it'll start up now since it's been sitting for a while. Let's go give that a shot. A little weak, but it started. Let's pull it up now. Alright, well, it's pulled up now. I'm going to pop the hood again. Colby's using the messed up hood latch, but here's what I'm looking at. So headlight's gone here, a little bit kinked here, so that's going to be fun to work out. This is bent up here, you can see, and then this headlight's right here. It's good except for that little crack right there. So we're going to try to pull this forward a little bit, get up the radiator and everything, and then pull everything straight here. Once everything's straight there, put in the new radiator, mount everything straight, try to get the headlight aligned, which is going to be a pain, get the hood off and all that. So I'm going to start by just taking out all the old and broken crap. So I'm going to get the old hood and the headlight out first, which once again I did buy a pair of replacement headlights. They're the sport edition, so they look a ton better than current ones in there. And then the hood is going to be replaced as well. So let me try taking out the hood first, and then we'll get going from there. So we're going to get out the tools and get cranking on the hood. All right, well, I'm taking before and after pictures as we go, so I'll throw those in at some point. Took out a little hose for the washer fluid here. We're going to get these two bolts cracked loose, and then the little hydraulics got the little clips that you pop out right there. So we're going to get going on that, crack everything loose, hopefully get these out, and then hopefully the hydraulics don't have too much pressure underneath of them, but we'll see what we can work with here. So Colby's cranking loose over there. It's got that a little bit loose, and hopefully it should come off pretty easily after that. Go for the bottom. All right, so Colby's doing the same thing over there that I just did. That little plastic metal clip kind of just bends up from the bottom, and then you can just kind of pop it out. Doesn't even need to pop out all the way. It'll just come out partially, and then you can see the little grease joint right there. So once it's out, we're going to unbolt here and then just take her off. Came out pretty easy on that side. Should be able to pop it down just like that. All right, I'll grab the impacts, and then we'll take care of this.
These on, so it stays on the frame, so we don't have to disconnect both sides.
Yep.
So when the other one comes off, we'll just have to reattach the top arms.
Yep, should make it a little bit easier. All right, well, the hood is off. Tools are under the hood, or not even under the hood, just in the engine bay. Looks a little strange. Maybe I'll drive it around like this. No, probably not. But anyways, it came out pretty easy. It was just as soon as you got those bolts off and these little shocks, it pretty much popped right out. Yeah, it wasn't too heavy either. Here she is laying over here. We're probably going to need to remove the rivets here.
And the ball joints for the hydraulic arms on the hood too, most likely.
We'll look at the new one and see what it does or doesn't have, and then this little insulation pad as well, just get it installed on the new one. But once again, I mean, look at this. I already pointed this out in the last video, but just look at the way that peeled. Like, I can't get over that. Next up, I'm going to remove the headlight, and we're just kind of not really demolitioning or demoing anything, but getting out all the old crap so that all the new stuff has room to fit in. So old headlights coming out next. I'll pop out all the bulbs for that. It should be a lot easier now if there's not a plastic shroud and a hood in the way, but we'll see how easy that comes out and then get going on that. So Colby's working on getting all the old stuff disassembled off the hood. I'm working on the headlights.
Disconnect them, because that thing just flew up and hit me in my dang eyeball.
Yeah, he kind of popped this out and it just shot up and hit him in the eye. Yeah. You should have seen it, but see if that one pops too.
It should. You gotta kind of pry on each side and get it up. It's just, I mean, these are just plastic rivets, but you can always get new ones. But try and save them if you can. There it comes.
Of course, that one didn't pop up, but.
So, and then you gotta get the windshield wiper. What is it?
The lines out of there.
Lines out, yeah.
So yeah. Current update. I'll be working on the headlight. I told Colby he can take over the phone whenever he wants to. So if he starts to record, there you go. All right. Well, the wiper fluid line got out the actual line itself. Of course, the brittle little plastic piece in there snapped. So that'll probably need to be replaced. Can't figure out how to get out the little nozzles, so we're gonna see what more we can do on that. Hopefully not have to buy new ones. But in the meantime, the installation's out, and we found with the headlights that there's a support that goes behind the bumper here, of course, because the Japanese can't ever design anything to be easy to work on. So I need that to get out this support, which is on the other side. Obviously, it's not broken off on the other side, but we're gonna have to reach up there. I'm gonna be able to reach under here, fortunately, and reach a little ratchet wrench underneath there and see what I can do. But I'll do that, and then hopefully that headlight will be out nice and easy. All right, so like I was saying, this bolt axis on here, I had to pull off this little piece here, and it's kind of up there underneath that lip. Can kind of see it right up there in the center of the screen. But yeah, that's where we're trying to get to right now. It's threaded through on this side. I don't know why they designed it like that, but hopefully I shouldn't have to take off any more than just that much of the bumper. So I'm gonna give a shot at getting that off, and then I'll let you know if that works. All right, well, reached in through the other side and pulled it out. It took a good little bit of pulling. I don't know why it was so hard. It could be because the bumper's pulled forward a little bit, but I don't know. I had to yank the crap out of this thing to get it to come out, but I'm gonna do the same thing. I tagged all of them over there, and yeah, so that's out, and yeah, let's tag it. The other headlight's off. Here's the grand reveal with no hood and no headlights.
It's so cursed.
Yeah, it's a little bit cursed. It looks quite peculiar, very odd, if you will, but it's out. I have everything tagged and marked down here. We're gonna get the draining out the old radiator, and then we're gonna get the pulling everything forward. We got the cap off right now. We're gonna throw this good old Home Depot Homer bucket underneath and capture out all the old coolant. So that'll fill that up. We'll take care of all that, and then we will proceed onwards from there. So take a look back at that, take a picture. But yeah, things are still moving forwards. All right, so the hose for the radiator is up on Colby's side. We just take off the skid plate to access it, and the little drain spout is over here on my side. So we're gonna hop under there, throw the bucket down there, drain her out, got the cap off, front still detached. So we'll get crack-a-lacking on that. All right, Colby's working with the drain underneath. Tyler's pulled up to join the fun. I don't know if you can see him down there, probably not, but we're gonna drain out what we can into the bucket, transfer everything over to the other bucket, and then probably gonna lose about 3-4 gallons here. So get it out down there, and then take out the hoses, get out the radiator, keep working forwards from there. There she goes. All right, well, we removed the line from the top up here as well. It's just about done draining out at the bottom, so we're gonna disconnect the lower hose and then the lower line there. From what we found, those are the transcooler lines right there, so I'm gonna try to cap it off, make sure that nothing's leaking, and if that's the transmission fluid, it's not looking too healthy. It's a little dark, but that's whatever. I don't know when it was last changed. So we're gonna get the draining out the rest of this, drain out the emergency overflow reservoir right there, and then, yeah, get it out of there. All right, well, we're having some trouble getting the lower hose down there. The top one came off pretty easily, but the bottom one doesn't really want to. So I'm gonna try to see how this comes off. I'm not 100% sure. There's a couple bolts on this side and that side, and I think it just slides up. So if it'll slide up, I'll do that. We have the hose disconnector right here, which you can see is obviously kicked underneath of there. So we'll have to feed that out that way. But yeah, we're gonna drain this out, maybe rinse it out, clean it out a little bit. You see Colby's feeding it out there.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, just flowing coolant everywhere. That's why you wear safety goggles when you do this. But yeah, we'll go sit this somewhere inside or out of the way. I'll try to get these bolts out, and then if it pops out, hopefully we'll have enough room to get down there and work, pop her open, and then we will have supposedly clear access to the radiator, but we'll see shortly. All right, so I got out the little coolant reservoir, popped out of there, 3 bolts holding it in down there, which is pretty easy. Fan shroud's got a bit more crackage down there and over here than I thought, so that's gonna be a pain to replace. All the hoses are disconnected, all the lines disconnected down there. We finally got the one down there, and we're taking out the through bolts that go in the radiator here and here. and that's coming a little bit loose, but we are going to need to get the fan shroud out, and then we can get to pulling everything else. So I don't know how much more it's going to be or how much more we'll need to. Is there anything else down below that you found holding it in? Because I'm not 100% sure.
No, let's just see top bolts for the fan shroud.
Yeah, so
you can't get that out, obviously, because the fan's sitting in there. So.
Yep, so we'll be taking out the fan shroud, and then we'll pop the radiator out, and then I guess we'll get to straightening this.
Okay.
What, you get the wrong socket?
Yeah, I'm a moron.
Pain. All right, well, it took a little bit of work. We finally got the radiator and the fan shroud out of there. You can see all the hoses disconnected right there, the lines that are bagged off down there, and everything is just empty down here. So we're going to try to pull this out a little bit. I'm looking at the fan shroud right now, and there aren't any that can be here for quite some time, so I'm probably going to try to glue that where it's broken. You can kind of see it right here with the radiator. Now you can see the bend in it. So I'm surprised it wasn't leaking at all. Doesn't look too bad when you're looking at it head on, but when you get up close, it looks a little bit worse. So let me show you the fan shroud right here, which I have inside. As I come up here, you can see where it got hit. It cracked open pretty badly. So I'm going to try to use some epoxy, try to hold that in and get the other missing piece up here fixed. So hopefully that'll hold up pretty well. We might leave that overnight just so that it can have some time to cure. But in the meantime, we will get working on getting the front pulled out. All right, so we're getting glue ready to go into the fan shroud. I got the vice grips holding it in, and we're going to try to glue it as it is right here and then shim in a little piece. But in the meantime, we're going to put some glue here, and then put in the actual missing piece right here and see what we can do from there. All right, well, this little bottle of glue right here is empty, so we're going to run to the hardware store, and we are going to go get some more. All right, well, we just got to the hardware store. Colby's right here. Tyler drove. We took the Tacoma, and I'm going to use this as an opportunity to point out Tyler's parking job.
Real men park on the line.
Shameful. Got ourselves some Gorilla Glue. Time to head back. All right, we're back here in the shop. We're going to start gluing this back together, and then we will hopefully let that cure for a good bit and then see how we work from there. So we decided to take the old hood, take a look at how the washer nozzles are connected down there, see what we can work with here. It looks like there might be little ears right here that'll pop out, and then we can work out to get those in the new hood. Just trying to see what we got to do here, but cutting it up. It's going to the scrapyard anyway, so we're not too worried about it. And it looks like they should be able to come out pretty easily, so we'll see what we can do there. Yeah, never mind. They're going to come out pretty hard because saying that it's easy will always jinx you, but that's what we're looking at now. All right, so we're going to try to bend this straight using the tractor over here, the good old Kubota. I'm going to wrap the chain around the front and get it behind the pipe over here, and then see how straight we can pull it to get it to line up, and then we'll bang everything in from there. But I disconnected the wiring harness. We're trying to make sure that it's not going to pull on anything else, and we're just using a piece of pipe behind it to make sure that it goes through evenly.
Michael, you got your emergency brake on.
It's on.
All right. Ready?
Yep. Stop.
I'm going to take tension off. I'm going to come forward.
Go for it.
Make sure your legs are out of the way.
Yep. I'm clear.
Go ahead. There you go. That actually went really well.
That looks pretty straight.
How did it do?
For a first shot, that's pretty good. All right, so the goal of the game here is trying to straighten out this little kink right here. It's pretty nasty. Headlight lines up here and at the mounting point down here, but not right here. So we're trying to get this as straight as possible so that this can. We're having a bit of trouble getting the headlight back in. I'm not sure what we're going to have to do here because it doesn't fit right here. Oh, it's straightening.
Yes. Yes. How much? More?
A good bit.
A little bit?
Still got a little bit of a kink in it.
I don't think it's moving that now. That's all right. Because now then we can pull this a little more. Yes, sure. Okay.
So now we're trying to use the Kubota to get adjustments and alignments up with the headlights. So far, it seems like it's going all right, so we're going to hope it continues to. Mr. Lou's helping if you haven't noticed yet. Tyler, Colby, and I are still hard at it. This light isn't fitting in right, so like I said, we'll see what we can do. But in the meantime, we're ratchet strapping to get that out. So straightening up the bar as much as we can and going at it again right now. All right, so we popped in the new headlights. We were able to finagle it a little bit. We got this kink out as good as we can. We're getting the ones up here to line up and the one down there to line up pretty good. This one we might have to fabricate something, but in the meantime, it's looking pretty good. Just look how shiny those new headlights are. You can compare it to either my fog lights or the old one, which is sitting over here. This thing had so many coats of headlight finish on it that it's probably beyond repair at this point. But anyways, we're going to get the new hood. We're going to throw it on. We're going to see how it closes and see if it lines up here. Because this is looking pretty good, but the real test is whether or not the hood closes. So it's a little bit janky, a little bit sketchy trying to get it all good looking. But I think it's looking a lot better than it did before. So we're making progress. Sun's starting to go down, but this is going to have to carry into tomorrow. All right, we got the little ball joints in the new hood here, which is pictured right below. They're popping their bubble wrap. They're having a good time. But we're going to get the new hood on, put on the shocks, and then we're going to see how that works and how it lines up. Which hopefully, if we're lucky, it'll be first try, but I have a feeling we'll need to do a little bit of tweaking. Well, the new hood's up. Here's for the moment of truth. Slowly go at it.
It's very close.
It's pretty close. How's it hitting?
Right there.
So why isn't it going?
Likely because you haven't gotten the new bracket assembly on yet. It might be.
I mean, I don't want to slam it.
Granted, you're trying to put a new hood.
Slowly go at it.
Granted, you are trying to put a new hood assembly on top of a bracket that you haven't changed yet, so that could probably be a pretty good reason.
Shouldn't need to be changed.
You have a new one anyway.
It's also clearly hitting.
It only attaches up there, the new one. Yeah. Slowly close it again. I want to see how it aligns back here. Ugh. Why is that hanging?
Is it tight on there? This side's up. How's your side look?
I don't know.
Your side's not as bad as this side.
What is this? What is this?
What?
Uh-oh. Bad review time.
Let's say they're getting a bad review. All right, well, let's pop her open and see what we're dealing with. All right, we're trying to work out this bottom bracket right now to straighten it out a little bit. We're finding that where the hood latch is hitting, it's hitting down here, so it is starting to engage the closing mechanism, but it's hitting up against here. So this needs to come forward at least another ½ inch or so. Goal's just trying to get it there now. Working against sunlight now, sundown. You can see here.
It's close.
It's so close.
But
close, but no cigar.
There's no way we can hold it out while closing it.
Yeah.
If we did that, it would honestly hold it there, and then it would probably work itself into place. But
exactly. Because we got the tractor back out, and we're working with what we can, but making some progress. All right, well, we got the light out. We took a break for dinner, and we gave it one last big tug that I unfortunately didn't get on camera. We decided to give it the moment of truth test, and sure enough, when you close it, it latches now. So we're making progress. A little bit of a panel gap over here, but it's honestly not too bad. It's definitely not perfect, but I really can't complain because I was expecting much, much worse. We're going to discontinue work for tonight at least. Pick up again tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to bolt in the headlights. Probably not put in the grill, or maybe do it. I'm not sure yet because I still have to get this painted. I've got a guy who said that he could paint it for pretty cheap, so we'll do that. But in the meantime, it latches. There's no radiator in it, so I can't take it for a test drive, but it's starting to look a lot better. So obviously it's dark, so you can't really see too well, but it's looking a lot better than it did this morning. I'm happy with it so far. I'm really excited to see how it looks come tomorrow. I'm just going to leave it like this tonight, and then in the morning we will take another stab at it. So thanks for watching today's portion. I actually did forget to record an update right here. The fan shroud is starting to cure. You can see the glue there. I'm going to pull up the clamps at some point and throw on this little piece and then get that glued together, glue the other side of here. So not too much exciting there, but the fan shroud is coming back together. So yeah, now that's it for tonight. Good night, and see you in the morning. Good morning. It is now Saturday. Lexus sat here overnight, and there's a pile of parts right in front of me. Nothing too exciting there, but I need some new bulbs for the headlights. I'm using the same high and low beams, but we're going to get some new chip lights for the side and also some new blinkers. I have some new blinkers at my house, so we're going to run and pick up those. And then we're going to run to the store to go and get some more of the little mini chip lights. But we're not taking the 83 today. We're taking the Chevelle, which I realize hasn't made an appearance on the channel. Let me flip that around so you guys can see it. All right, go ahead, start her up. So the picture of Chevelle belongs to Colby's dad, Mr. Lou. He's done a ton of work on it himself, and it's a beautiful looking car. But we're going to take this out. We're going to run back to my house and to the auto parts store, like I said, and then we will be good to go to start putting in the headlights. All Alright, bulbs are picked up from my house. All the blinker bulbs are in here. We're going to go to the auto parts store and grab some more. Alright, well, we just made a stop at AutoZone. I picked up some new lights for the front. I picked up some new lights for the side markers. I picked up a new bushing kit for the radiator support, so we'll see if that fits, and hopefully it will because one of them is somehow missing. And then we picked this up to replace the washer fluid line, so we'll see if this fits. If not, I'll return it. We'll make something else work, but there's where we're at now. We're going to pick up some new bolts and nuts to thread through the radiator at the hardware store. Alright, so we picked up some more parts. Some new little hardware to get the radiator in. Gonna pop the hood, and since there's no auxiliary latch, which I have to install yet, you pull it and it automatically starts to pop up. So, yep, there we go. So I have to get my actual little tug latch right here. That'll go down, that'll hook onto here, so that you have to pull that from back here before it actually opens, the actual little safety catch. And yeah, we're gonna get the headlights installed, we're gonna get the new radiator dropped in and everything. And then hopefully it'll be good to go by the end of the day, because I do need it tomorrow, so let's get to work. So now we're getting out the hoses right here. We're just getting out the bottom hose right here and the top hose up there. Just going to pull them out. Replace them with the new ones that we have. I have 2 Gates hoses right there, so that's what we're going to pop in their place. All right, so Colby's working on getting the new hoses on. He's got the top one on right there like I showed. I was going to get the new hood latch on. It has a little 10mm bolt that threads into there, and then the actual tab of it and a little pin right there kind of holds it in there. So, of course, I was going to take the one off of the old hood right here, and I felt a really big pop, and lo and behold, you can see that the bolt's sheared off clean inside of there. So I need to either run back to the hardware store or see if they have anything, because you can see the old one, it's bent. I didn't want to bend it back because that's kind of an important safety feature. So yeah, we'll see what we can do there. I'll see if I can make something work. I got my new radiator here. I got all the old bolts, screws, whatever down here, and then the old radiator's over here. So I'm going to take out the bushings on this one. You can see the bushings right in here, so I'm going to pop them out. I'm going to transfer them over to the other one, and then there was one missing right here. I don't know if it just never had it or if it broke out, but we got a new kit to replace it, which will hopefully fit. So I'll give a shot at making one makeshift, and then we'll see how that goes. Well, we got the old hardware in there, and then we got the new stuff down below. So we're just using this 7/16 bolt, a new bushing that we got from this kit at AutoZone, and then we're going to be putting this on here. So it's a bit of fab work right here, but it should fit in and go nice. I'm going to hope it does because, yeah, that's what'll be holding it together. All right, so we got all the hardware in. We put in a piece of weather stripping at the bottom because there was a piece of foam there before. You can
kind of compress it a little bit.
Yeah, you can see it's had better days, you could say. It sat on the bottom down here, the bottom of the radiator support, which you can see is that rail running down there. And I sprayed a little bit of rust protectant on it to see if that makes any kind of difference, because it is starting to rust out pretty bad. Thank you, State of Maryland, for putting so much salt on your roads. But anyways, we're going to try to drop her in, thread the through bolts through there, up here and down there, and then we'll see how well it goes in.
It's a good Sunday.
It's a good Sunday when people are out here riding bikes. All right, so we got the fan shroud back in. Here's the hoping that our glue seals work. I mean, there's plenty on there, so I hope it works. But I'm going to drop in the new radiator, see how she sits. All right, so we threaded through all the bolts. It was a huge pain getting the bottom ones in over there, but they're all finally in. So all 4 are in now compared to 3 before. We're screwing the fan shroud back on. It still looks like it's clearing everything, so we're just going to give a shot at doing all of that. And then hopefully the cooling system will be good to be refilled and then good to go from there. The new radiator's in, the fan shroud is in. The bottom hose was way more of a pain than it should have been, and that's why my hands are looking like this now. Part of my pretty nasty watch tan. It was awful, but
top ones were easy. It's getting the bottom one because you can't get to the clip because it's literally in between 2 brackets and you can't get any pliers in there.
Yeah, I'll try to sneak underneath right now and show you what we're talking about, but you can see where everything clips in, so that clamp is really hard to get to. I'm going to clip the trans line back in now. And then we'll put the little overflow reservoir back on, fill it up with coolant, and then it should be good. All right, well, I'd mentioned that we couldn't find a screw that fit up here earlier, but I found out that one of the coolant overflow reservoir screws will fit into there. So we're going to put a new one in here to feed it and just reuse one of the ones from here up there instead, and just use that to secure the overflow and see how that goes. All right, so over here, we just took a nut and a bolt. We bolted it through back here into the fan shroud, so it's mounted up there now. Took the other 2 bolts that came with it before and mounted it there. I'm going to take the extra 10mm bolt. I'm finally going to put on the hood latch up there, as I've mentioned before, and Colby's going to get the radiator filled up while I'm doing that. So we'll start this up in a few minutes once I have that on and everything, and then we'll test run it and see how she holds temperature. Once we do that, we're going to put in the lights, probably the grill, and then call it a day.
You get too crazy with these because you need to have air to pull a vacuum if it has to.
Yeah, we're just getting the overflow filled up probably about halfway or so. A little more and we'll call it good there.
Let's see where we're at.
That looks about good. It's right in between full and low. We'll run that for a bit, see how well it pulls and see how it looks. So we're going to see how this does. We're going to try to warm up the engine and see how well it holds heat. So let's get her started. Woo! That didn't sound too good. Let's get the heat going as well. To pull in any coolant into the heater core on the back here. Let's go high. Let's blast that temperature. Turn off AC because it does not work. Set to max hot. Leave a little bit extra in here just to make sure it doesn't pull in any air. Well, it's been running for a few minutes now. Some coolant overflowed there. I'll have to clean that up later, but that's my new cap. Gates branded cap, Gates branded hoses, and CSF branded radiator. Overflows holding about steady. I'm gonna go in and check the actual temperature gauge in there and see if it's blowing hot yet from the heater vents. It's definitely a bit warmer than it was before, and just slowly but surely starting to warm up, so we'll see once it gets to halfway if it holds that or not. And hopefully once it's there, it'll be good, and then we can take it on a test drive once we have everything else complete. I've got all my old bulbs piled up over here, my new LEDs and my new incandescent blinkers over here. Engine's still running at a good temperature. While it's doing that, while it's idling, I'm gonna get them into the new headlights. I'm just gonna kind of pull out the bumper a little bit so I can move out the headlight, get everything screwed and installed, and then I'll start to piece everything back together. I'll start to get these screwed in, and then I'll do the same exact thing on the other side. So I'll get back to you once this one is done. Well, as you can see, the engine's still running about halfway. Moving around front. If I flip the lights real quick, see that everything's all lit up. So it's looking good. We'll screw that in. We'll do the same on the other side. All right, well, we got that headlight in and tested all the lights, and they worked. We got this headlight in and tested all the lights and figured out that they work as well. We're gonna cut a little strip of aluminum or steel or something like that and just kind of bring this out a little bit and then bolt it in because we couldn't actually get the screw to be back where it should be 100%. We think that's just because of the kink right here that it doesn't let this side go up as much as it should, but that screw looks about where it was initially, so we're not 100% sure there. I think it's just a little bit that needs to come out there, but we're making it work. I did put on the hood latch. I checked to see if it holds, and it does hold, so we're gonna do that. There's a little bit of a gap right here. I don't remember why it looks like that. It could just be because the bumper's not fully secured, or it was like that before and I just never knew it. But I'm going to get around to securing back on the bumper down here, the bumper on the other side, and then once it's in, we're gonna call it a day from there. It never did overheat. Before we do call it a day, we do have to get the washer lines reinstalled, and I'll show you what we do for that, but a little bit of installation that needs to go up there. Washer lines, general cleanup, and then we're good. I have my new little wiper nozzles here, not the new ones, the old ones, sorry. We're gonna get them in here, in the hood holes up here, and then we're gonna fish in the lines. Colby's getting out a little tiny plastic piece that broke off there, and we have new little metal connector, so we're gonna hope that fits in there. If not, we'll just leave it disconnected for the time being and then get going on it. And yeah, we'll see if that fits. So I'm gonna throw these in, and then we'll try to fish it in there, and then try to wire that all up. You can see the old hose laying right there. So should go in nice and easy. Put on the hood insulation, and then throw in the grill, hood latch, and then I think that's done. I think. We'll take it on a test drive. All right, well, the new lines are in. You can see where I fed them through on the other side. Stick out those little nozzles right there, which might need to be replaced if they come loose, but we shall see. In the meantime, this is the little metal connector that we need instead of the plastic one that goes in there, since the last plastic one broke. We're getting out the little clips. Colby's cutting apart the other hood, and we're gonna use those clips to mount it on there, throw in the insulation from there. Well, we got the hood insulation back in. We're getting the grill back up. Of course, it has little threaded through screws that we're using to put on nuts on the underside, because why would it ever be easy? But in the meantime, we'll get that on. There's a little piece that goes right here on the hood latch, and then I got to put on the Lexus logo. So,
on top of them not giving you any nuts to put on.
Yes, there were no nuts that came with it. We bought this from carparts.com, shipped straight from Taiwan, and seemed to have no parts. But all right, we just finished getting the new grill in, taking the old one here. I'm gonna get this little latch release thing off because the new one didn't come with that, and then we're gonna get the Lexus logo off. Throw that on. Look how sad that looks. All right, well, the last Lexus logo is screwed into there and then glued on as well, so the new one's not fully glued on. I have some adhesive glue back at my place, and I'll put that on. But hood latch is on. I have the little tab back on. This kept popping out right here, so I have a zip tie holding it here, and honestly, I might leave it that way. I don't know, but there she is. Look at that.
Its former glory.
I was gonna say, yep, it's just about where it was before. It's gonna need some paint on the hood, but for being a backyard project, I mean,
It's nothing I look twice at.
that's pretty good. It's the only thing is the panel gap here, which still lines up here and it's just a little bit bigger there, but it'll drain out there when the water gets in. So
It's not hurting anything.
no, I think we're gonna clean up, and then we'll get taking this on a test drive, and then
a tractor and a ratchet strap, I think we did pretty good.
yeah, nobody would know what we used to get this done. No one would use it or know that it was a tractor and a ratchet strap. But yeah, let's get cleaned up, start her up, take her for a quick spin. All right, we got everything cleaned up. Just panning the camera around a little bit more. I'll pop off the Lexus logo before we get driving because I don't want it to fall off since it's not glued on. But I mean, compared to before, I'll throw in some before and after pictures, but I'd say it looks pretty good. So far, so good. Knock on wood, everything will continue to go smoothly.
Not too bad. We're gonna make a right. We're gonna make the next right up here, actually. The one you get before to the roundabout.
Yes, sir.
So
Right here?
we're gonna, yeah. So far, it hasn't had any overheating issues, right?
It's running at perfect temperature. I mean, you
Okay,
see it
cool.
there. Test drive is over. 253,938 miles on her now. I have all my stuff loaded in the back because I've been here just about all weekend, but there she is. So I still have yet to get the hood painted. The lights look real good. I can't get over that. Like I said, I removed the Lexus badge so it wouldn't fall off, but all in all, especially from a distance, you wouldn't even know that there's anything different. So I still have yet to get the hood painted, which I plan on doing because I don't know how much the sun is going to eat away at that bare metal primer, whatever's on it right now, but there she is sitting pretty. So I'm really glad with how it turned out. Can't thank Colby enough for all his help this weekend. Tyler, Mr. Lou as well. Appreciate them all. So that'll be the end of this video. Hope this was entertaining.
Since it's Sunday.
Yeah, time to get back to work tomorrow. So yep. So license plate's going back on. Hood's getting painted. That'll be all for this video though. Yeah. Really happy with everything. Everything's fixed except for the air conditioning, so looking good. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.